Hello, everybody. This is Martina Evans, and today I'm going to be talking to you about first grade social studies. Specifically, we're going to be learning about maps. Now, what is a map? Does anyone know? What do you think they're used for? And have you or your family ever used one? Now, that's right. Maps are pictures from above that show us where things and places are located. A map could be of a room, a building, a street, a town, a park, a state, a country, and even the whole world. Now, most maps are flat, but some are three-dimensional, and 3D maps of the world in the shape of a sphere are called globes. Now, I know some of you mentioned earlier what you think a map is used for, and that some of you have used them or seen your parents use them. Now, some reasons why I've used a map in the past are to find the best routes for a trip. Nowadays, a lot of phones and computers come with maps, and they can find the best route for you. But before technology could do what it does today, people used maps to find the best roads and the best ways to get where they were going the quickest way. You can also use maps to find different places. So if someone mentioned another city like Las Vegas or Denver, you could use a map to find where those cities are and how to get there from where you are. Now, another reason that people use maps is to find their way back to familiar places if they ever happen to get lost. I know that one time I was driving with my grandmother when I was just a little bit older than you guys, and we got lost. And this was before we had GPS and cell phones. And we used a map to find our way back onto the right route, and it actually helped us find our way home. Now, I'm going to show you a picture of a map. Here it is. What do you think that this map is showing us? Well, in my opinion, this looks like it's a map of a park, a picture from overhead. And over here you can see it says park map. And this map seems to be showing us some paths and a lot of things that are in a park. I noticed that there's a key. Do any of you know what a key is? Sometimes it's called a legend. Well, a key is a part of the map that tells us what the different symbols indicate on the map. So we see over here that this picture tells us that there are trees in the park. We also see pictures for benches, slides, seesaws, sandboxes, swings, flower gardens, duck ponds, and paths. So if you were planning on going to the park and your friend said, "Meet me at the swings," and you were coming from this way, you would know that you'd have to go around the duck pond to get to the swings. Now, there are many different important parts of a map. Most, if not all, maps have a title that can help you identify what you're looking at. So on the last map, we saw that the title was Park Map, which helped us understand that we are looking at a map of a park. They should also have a compass rose, which indicates north, east, south, and west. And those are directions that help you understand where things are in relation to other things and other places. Growing up, my teachers always taught us to remember north, east, south, and west by the little phrase, never eat soggy waffles. And that's because never eat soggy waffles starts with N, E, S, and W, just like north, east, south, and west. Now, depending on the type of map, there'll be a key or a legend which shows you what different symbols on the map represent. So, on the park map that we just looked at, we saw symbols for trees and benches. On state maps, you might see squiggles for rivers or little tiny triangles for mountains. And looking at the key and the legend and the title before you try to interpret a map really helps you understand what you're looking at and how you can best use the information. Now here's a map of our state, Idaho. We see here that the title is Idaho, also known as the Gem State. We've got our compass rose, north, south, east, and west. Never eat soggy waffles. We've got our key over here, which shows us that there are state capital, city, mountains, state boundaries. So using the key to help you, which cities do you see on the map? See, cities are indicated by circles. So just by doing a quick look over here, I see that Coeur d'Alene is a city on the map. I see that Nampa is a city on the map. Idaho Falls is a city on the map. Which ones do you see? Also using the key, we see that state capitals on this map are indicated with a star, and this is a really common symbol for other states or even countries when capitals are written out. So using this key and looking for the star, what is the state capital of Idaho? That's right, it's Boise. Some of you might have already known that, but if you didn't, you could use the key and easily find it. Now near Boise, there's a river shown on this map. What is the name of this river? Now the closest river is to the south. See how if this is Boise, to the south below it, there's a river. So Boise to the south is the Snake River. Also to the north, but much further away, past the mountains, is the Salmon River. Now this is a map of our country, the United States of America. We've got our compass rose over here, and I have gone ahead and circled a state. Does anyone recognize this state? This is our state. This is where we live. This is the state of Idaho. And there are no names on this map, so you'd have to already know or be looking at a different map. But maps of whole countries like this can really tell you what's around it. So to the south of Idaho, we have Nevada and Utah. To the east of Idaho, we have Montana and Wyoming. To the west of Idaho, we have Oregon and Washington. And to the north of Idaho, there are no states, but there's a whole other country, which is not shown on here, and that country is Canada. So are there any states on this map that you recognize? Maybe you've been there before? One state that I recognize is Ohio. Before my husband joined the Air Force, me and my family lived in Ohio, and we drove all the way to Idaho, where we live now. Now, this overhead map is of our whole entire world. It shows 7 continents. So over here in my red circle is the United States of America. The United States of America is blue, and it is connected to Canada and Mexico. And together, all of these blue masses of land indicate North America. So the blue continent is North America. To the south of it, we see South America. I don't know if many of you get that there's north and south, and north is above it and South America is below it. And then we've also got Europe, Asia, India, Africa, Australia, Russia. So looking at this map and knowing that the different colors, the blues, the purples, the pink, yellow, orange, green, that those are land or continents, what do you think that the blue area around them is? The blue area is actually oceans. And if you look a little bit closer, you can see that there's blue area on the land. And those are lakes. And if this map was a little bit closer, we'd be able to see rivers like we did on our map of Idaho. But the blue in this map generally represents oceans and seas. And so I don't know if any of you have ever been outside of our country or our continent, but I have been over to Europe before. And to get to Europe, we took a plane and we had to fly for a really long time because cars can't go in water. So if you want to go across the ocean, you have to take a boat or a plane to get there. Have any of you ever been on a boat or a plane? Now, something interesting is that a long time ago, before maps were on our phones and our computers and at books at the store, um, explorers who lived in Europe or who lived in Africa or South America, they didn't have maps everywhere. So they talked to each other about where they wanted to go, and then they went out exploring. And those people are the reasons that we have a lot of our maps today. Now, here is a picture of our planet Earth. Does anyone recognize this? Has anyone ever seen a picture like this before? Do you know maybe how this picture was taken? This picture was taken from a satellite in outer space. So if you're looking at it, this is a real live picture of our planet. We live probably about over here. This is North America, and this is South America. And just like in the flat maps, the oceans are blue. Now there's a little bit of white on here, but that's because the picture is taken from outer space, so the clouds are even shown. But looking at this, we can see that North America and South America are different colors than the water, and that's because this is what the land looks like from outer space. So the green area are trees and forest, and the brown areas like deserts and not forests, like maybe some Great Plains or prairies. Over here, I see some islands, but this is what our Earth looks like from outer space. Now, this is a model of our planet Earth. So it's a sphere, like our real planet. Does anyone know what this is called? This is a globe. And globes can be any size, but generally they're about the size of a basketball. And if we were in a physical classroom right now, I would be able to pass these out to you, and you could spin it around and see the whole world represented. So on the opposite side, we would see North America, and we'd be able to find the United States, and we'd be able to find Idaho, probably even Boise. We'd be able to find other states that we've been to and faraway places that we'd like to travel one day. And I'd like for everyone to take a minute to notice that on this globe, unlike the picture of real life Earth, there are names. And so we see Algeria and Libya, Egypt, and these are different countries on the continent of Africa. And over here we see the Arabian Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. And so you can use globes to find different things, different places. Unlike a map of your state or your town, it's not really going to help you find the best route to get somewhere. It's not really going to help you find your way back home if you're lost, but it is great to find where you are in relation to other states and countries. Now, in conclusion of this lesson, I would like for all of you to go to the discussion board and answer the following questions. Number 1, what do you understand the purpose of a map to be, and how can you use it? Number 2, what is a model of the Earth called? Number 3, what kinds of things can a map show you? And number 4, how can you tell the difference between continents, which are land, and bodies of water, such as lakes and oceans? Thank you so much for helping me today, and please don't hesitate to comment with any questions. Thank you.